Speak your truth, but speak it slant. Welcome to the new Speak It Slant podcast, people. I'm Terriann Walling, and I'm a poet, and I am one of your hosts.
And I'm Nikola Ragusa. I'm a musician and producer, and I'm just a poet enthusiast. Love to get myself deep into it now with Terriann here. So we're going to
Deep
explore
into the
that.
poetry.
Yeah, deep into the poetry.
Deep into the poetry.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm excited about today because, like, today we're going to be talking about love, right? And
I'm excited about talking about love too, in
because it's
whatever form it comes in.
exactly, there you go. So it's a our first episode. We're going to be talking about that because it's Valentine's Day coming up soon, and it's also sort of that month type of thing about love and all those things. And I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. We've been like in the works of doing this for a while, so I can't wait. And I keep posting stuff on social media because I'm like, check this out. So hopefully we get some people. Our goal, I think, is to really get other like poets that want to share their stuff.
Yeah.
And like we will do thematic things, but really we just like poetry. Nicola's a musician, we're creative people, and we want to put things out there. So hopefully you enjoy this first one, you share it with other people.
Yeah, share it around, and also it's just like we want this to be a platform for poets of the now, and also just talk about what's on the cutting edge of poetry, just between the two of us and guests and whatever. It's just gonna be this thing, and we hope you enjoy it, and just share it around if you want to do it. It's also gonna be on everywhere you can find podcasts as well. So make sure you find Speak It Slant on any of your podcast avenues that you need to listen to or you listen on. And also it'll be live, or not live rather, but there will be a video stream also on Terriann's YouTube page, which
Yeah,
is
my
another way
new
of saying too.
YouTube page.
So if you want to kind of break free from the podcast ether and see the visual side of us as well, you can do that.
Which you should, because
Which
look
you
at
should,
these
yes.
beautiful spaces.
Yeah, we both have beautiful spaces. This is my office, but I also have another one. But everything's beautiful. Your space is beautiful. You got your chair.
I
If
got a
you're only
chair,
listening to if you're listening only on
tiny
podcast
hat.
form, yeah, tiny hat. There's a tiny hat that flows into the screen once in a while. It's
Mhm.
pretty great. So yeah, we both have our creative spaces that just bring out things. So I'm excited. This is hopefully
Okay, yeah, let's get going.
yeah, let's get
We're
going.
just explaining too much, maybe. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Who
Always.
knows?
Who
Maybe
knows?
we are.
Maybe we are. Remember, we're
I'll
trying to fill for
harass you
time. Yeah.
continuously. Okay, so what our thoughts were was that we would pick a few pieces of poetry. And so I chose a poem by Margaret Atwood, a Canadian writer, which you guys probably know from The Handmaid's Tale, but she's actually like originally was a poet. And like if you look at her work, it's her poetry that shines through even her novels to me.
Right.
And then we chose a piece of there's an Instagram person that I met online. Her name is Sarah, right? Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah,
Yeah. And I
exactly.
actually asked her, I said, hey, do you want to be a part of this? And she's like, I don't know. And then she sent me a piece. And then Nicola chose a piece from Emily Dickinson, one of the most
Yes.
beautiful poets of all time. And I'll share a piece as well. And then I think Nicola should just do one on the fly. What do you think, Nicola?
Do one on the fly. Okay, I can try. I'll figure it out.
Why don't we just poet on the
I figure
fly?
it out. Poet on the fly. That's the poet on the fly segment.
Poem on the fly.
Poem on the
Let's
fly.
start with poem on the fly, actually. Let's give this
Oh
a go.
my.
Give a
Okay.
line. Let's think
Jeez,
love.
jeez.
And yeah, look
Oh
at you
no.
going
Okay.
comfortable. I
Oh
love it.
boy. If you watch it on the stream, if you watch it on the video portion, you're gonna see how my level just went all the way
Oh my
down.
God.
Yeah. So I
Okay,
don't
give me a
know. I'm not
line.
gonna.
Don't
Huh.
think too much. Don't think too much.
Oh, I
Just
never do.
poem on the fly.
Okay.
Okay, just give me one line. I'll come at you and I'll do a second. We'll do four lines.
Okay.
We each get two.
Oh, okay. We're
Okay,
supposed
you
to do
got
more than that.
this.
That's
Just
wonderful.
don't think too much. Just take a line.
The forest is oh
You
wait.
got it. The
Yeah.
forest is
The forest is um a mecca.
the forest is a mecca, one that I would like to never leave behind.
Although you can't, it grabs you and it stays with you.
For all of eternity and time. There we go. Poem on the
Fantastic.
fly.
Yeah, and those will be in the liner notes. So when you want to, if you want to see the actual poem, be sure to check our liner notes and stuff like that on the podcast. I'm going to try to leave as much of the notes and also maybe also our transcript of the whole entire show.
I like how you are just a little uncomfortable still. It's kind of fun.
Oh yeah, it's a little fun.
But you did it.
Totally.
You wrote a poem on the fly and it was a love one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I love
maybe
that.
we start with Margaret Atwood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
So
the Atwood.
how about you talk for a second while I pull up
Yeah,
her
so
little poem here?
yeah. Well, what
'Cause-
I'm excited about this whole entire venture is basically like just coming into um, the poetry person or poet's world and understand how process works and how people now are expressing themselves through poetry as because it's like obviously different than the classics from what I've read, which is limited, but I'll be reading more and more as time goes on in this series, and I'm just excited. It's like fire, you know. It's like on the page. It's this thing that's right away, and I really it's like music too. When you're playing music, it's right away. It's fire. It's on the sheet music page or whatever.
Well, Nikola
So I'm
is
just
a
expressing it.
classical music player. Is that
Yeah,
what you would call yourself? Like you're a flautist, right?
yeah, that's it. Yeah, flautist and just like classical pop. I can play pop, all those
Yeah, like
things. You know, all types of musics.
we
Oh
met
yes,
at a
that's right.
residency in France, actually. So it was really cool. We'll talk about that more later, but
Oh yeah,
it
yeah,
was a
totally.
magical world of collaboration of artists and musicians and poets. But Nicola, there was minimal musicians, mostly a lot of like technical artists, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's
yeah.
that's where we met.
Yeah, the traditional artist, you know, painter artist and stuff. Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
we met.
that's where we met at a castle in France.
Yeah,
Biggie,
only. Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, that's yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. Well, for like a whole year, I was just telling everybody about when I was at the chateau, you
I
know, like
know.
it's just like this thing, and all my friends were like, "Okay, that's enough."
My friend Jen literally said, if you say at the chateau one more time, I'm gonna punch you.
Oh
That's
yeah,
like,
same here, same here,
okay,
same here.
fine. I found the
Chateau
poem.
vibe.
Shall we share
Fantastic.
it?
Let's do
Shall I
it.
share it? Okay,
Absolutely.
so it's called You Fit Into Me, and it's by Margaret Atwood, one of my absolute favorite poets in all of the land. Okay, so you fit into me like a hook into an eye, a fish hook, an open eye.
Wow,
That's
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
it. Yeah.
Huh. Well,
Would
the
you
hook, you know, the hook is just that word, you know. For me, it just catches my eye. Like not my eye, but my ear rather.
That's an irony there, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
in the eye, right?
It's in
Like
the eye, exactly.
you fit into me like a hook into an
Yeah.
eye, a fish hook, an open eye.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you
Yeah.
see that as love? Do you see that as a love poem?
Oh yeah, of course. 100%, 110%.
Tell
It's
me
like,
how, flautist.
well, it's just the I don't know. I think it's the whole maybe I'm obviously probably wrong, but the interlocking of the eyes, you know, it's this thing
Oh,
with the
that's
eyes.
nice. Actually,
It's
never
like
thought of that.
yeah, that's what
I
I
saw
take
it
of it.
more
It's
like
like
a trauma of like,
oh, there's trauma in between those things because it's like when you look at somebody in their eyes, I think it's like there's a violent look, but there's also the passionate look too at the same time. It's
yeah.
got this type of thing. That's how I see it right on the page. I know if I go more deep into it, maybe I'll break it down too much when I shouldn't. So that's it. As a person who just
Okay. I always like
absorbed
it
it.
because I like this idea of love being dirty and
Yes,
it's not easy and it's not well, it's easy depending on what kind of love you have, right? But this seems
totally.
like a love that is challenging, perhaps, right? Like
Oh
maybe
yeah,
after the
it
moment
does sound like that.
when you like fall out of like that first initial, I don't know, lusty love
Mm-hmm.
phase, which I
Mm-hmm.
personally like the best.
Yeah, for
Is
sure.
that wrong? I don't know.
No, 100%. That's the
Right?
best
It's
part.
beautiful. It's what like Romeo
I
and
think
Juliet's written about, even though
yeah,
we know Romeo and Juliet is absolutely absurd, but
yeah,
it's like after that, it's like you
yeah,
fit into me like a hook into an eye. It's almost
yeah.
beautiful. And then she's like a fish hook in an
Mm,
open eye. So you can
mm,
imagine this fish
mm.
with
Oh
their
yeah.
or a human actually with like a hook in their eye, right? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's painful.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a painful love, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm,
But it's
mm.
also passionate because it's like, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Sorry. I love Margaret Atwood. Like I
No,
really do.
it's fantastic. It's like, yeah, it really she used the exact right amount of words to bring out the emotion like you just did. And like I just did and stuff like that. And then whoever else has read that.
Well, this is the woman that wrote The Handmaid's Tale, right? Like
Right. I'm
she
aware of that
is
one,
a
yeah.
feminist. She is a
Mm-hmm.
force to be reckoned with. She's like,
Sure.
I don't know. I absolutely love her as a human, even though like her, like the whatever. I'm not going to get into the new Handmaid's Tale series, but somehow she agreed to that. And I'm like, because she's just older now, and it's like, yeah, sure.
right.
You know
Yeah,
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But well, that
Oh,
was
that's
my first poem. Do you want to share like your Dickinson poem that you have, perhaps?
yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Okay. And then
But
we'll
like,
go to like the lay people, the real
yes,
humans
the
like
real
me
humans.
and
Yes,
like
exactly.
Sarah.
Exactly, exactly. I love it. So this is by Emily Dickinson. It's Heart, We Will Forget Him.
Hmm.
And it goes like this.
Oh, I'm ready. Bring it.
Heart, okay, here we go. Heart, we will forget him, you and I, tonight. You may forget the warmth he gave. I will forget the light.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
there's
that
one of
it?
that's it. That's
That's
it.
fucking beautiful.
Isn't it
Like I
crazy?
kind
Isn't
of
it
want that
crazy?
tattooed on my body.
Me
Oh, like
too.
you
Me
don't need a
too.
fish
Me
hook in your
too.
eye. You need to forget him, like Emily
No.
Dickinson
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, that is so pretty.
Right. Right. It's so good, right? I thought so. I was like,
Oh,
what's going on? Like, again, I
damn.
can't really dive too much into because it's just like something just it just hit me when I was just like scurrying around and
Oh,
yeah.
she's just so
I guess what
profound.
the history of that is like I guess it's a fallout between a passionate love affair.
Oh, for sure. And like Emily Dickinson
Yeah.
had like, I don't know how much you know about her,
No, I'm
but
slowly getting into it
yeah, like
slowly.
she's from Amherst, Boston, right? And
Yes. Yeah.
she lived in this,
What a great place to live. You can totally
right?
see. Yeah, I love Boston. So it's like there's so much of that
Oh yeah, like the
type of
Gothic
thing.
kind of thing
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
that's all. Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
really
went
is
to her
Gothic
house,
there.
Nicola. Like I
Come
went to her
on.
house. I went to her house. I went into the bedroom that she died in. And the woman's like, this is the bedroom she died in. And I'm like, what? And then I
Oh my
felt like I
God.
was in a vortex getting sucked
Wow.
into the ground. And all of a sudden
Crazy.
I was like kind of swirling around. I was like, holy shit, what is happening right now? Because
Oh
I
my
was
God.
like,
I
I
see.
love her. I feel like
Should go back again. We should do a podcast episode about it.
I did a podcast there. I'm not kidding. I was
Oh
on
my
somebody
God.
else's podcast
Oh
speaking out
man.
about a book that I had written with a friend of mine.
Wow.
And we went into Emily Dickinson's garden
Oh
and
wow.
squirrels, there were
Yep.
squirrels and they were kind of like throwing nuts at our head.
My God. Like
Not
the yeah,
fucking
like the
joking.
broken nets, like the broken nets.
Yeah, and I was just
Yeah.
like talking to this woman on this podcast, and I'm like, uh, I'm getting a nut thrown at me by a squirrel in Emily Dickinson's garden. And she's like, okay,
Whoa.
crazy lady. And I'm like, no, but for real.
Wow, that's
Yeah, because
crazy.
everything is like what you just read.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Mm-hmm.
like, bam, right? Like it's
Yeah, right.
so powerful.
Oh
So
yeah.
powerful. That was a great choice.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
I
it.
love it. I love it. I know
Yeah.
that you chose a Shakespeare sonnet at some point too.
Yeah, but yeah, I have it, but I mean like if you as you wish,
Let's
like
do it. Let's do
yeah.
a Shakespeare sonnet. Why not?
Okay, which one did I do here? Oh, okay, so it's one of it's sonnet 18. It's
Okay.
shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
Oh, this one. Yes.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. Do it.
Yeah. So
Bring
yeah.
it.
Here we go. In silence I have watched you comb your hair, intimate the silence, dim and warm. I could, but did not, reach to touch your arm. I could, but do not, break that which is still.
Ooh.
Hmm.
What do you think the witch's still part means? Because I like that he's watching without being a pervert or an idiot
Mm.
jerk, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
like
That's
he's like,
key.
I'm watching you and you look beautiful and I'm appreciating and admiring you as a human, but I don't want to break the witch's like the word. I'm just
Yeah.
curious what you
Which.
think
Yeah.
about that. But that wasn't a thing at that time, really. I don't think witches were big in like
No, but it's
Shakespeare.
like, but it's WH, ICH.
Oh, witches.
Yeah. No,
Read
like
that last line
which.
again,
Like
please.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
I could. Okay. So it's I could, but do not break that which is still.
Oh, that witch is still. Oh, that's
Yeah.
way better. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is
Big
he calling
difference.
her a witch, bitch? Like, I
No,
was
no
about
bitch.
to
No,
get
yeah, no
like,
witches back there.
I'm
No,
like,
no
that is
witches.
not the Shakespeare I know because
No,
he's
no.
like, he's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
Oh, so he doesn't want to ruin
No,
her
that's it.
beauty
Isn't that
and
right? I know that.
perfection by like inputting or interjecting
Yeah, no
to
interjecting. That's what I
her.
think. Yeah.
He's
I
really
think
appreciating
yeah.
her as a human,
Oh yeah.
right? Oh, that's lovely. It
That
is
is what I like at
lovely.
the end. That's the best one at the end. The best is right at the end for me.
Yeah. Do you think that he's pedestaling her though, or do you think it's more just like
No,
no, like just more
no.
like
I think he's in the moment. And that moment will only be there and he'll never have it after again. It's just that
yeah,
moment. That's what it is, I think.
yeah.
Because he's all about the moment, that guy, I think, from what I know. Again,
Well, I absolutely love
I'm
Shakespeare.
yeah.
Yeah, and so I
Uh-huh.
like his sonnets. He wasn't known mostly for his sonnets, right? For those of
No,
you that
right.
don't know, like
Yeah.
I'm also an English teacher, right? So I teach
Hmm.
high school English and like
Yeah.
I'm kind of obsessed with well, Shakespeare and
Yeah.
Dickinson and lots of writers really, like a lot of
Okay.
writers, but it's like yeah, I don't know. His sonnets were not his most famous thing, and he did a lot
Hmm.
of really cool things with his sonnets. And so that's a beautiful one. I know the
Yeah.
beginning, but I don't remember the end. So it was really nice to
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
revisit
Yeah,
that.
everyone knows the beginning from what I read about it when I was just did a
Yeah,
little bit
shall I
about it.
compare thee to a summer's
Uh,
day?
yeah, okay. Like, but what about what do you do with a summer's day?
Yeah.
You look at it,
Do you
and you
run in
enjoy
like
it
a
at the
crazy
moment.
banshee and
Oh,
like
no,
steal the
no,
moment, or do you just stop
no.
and observe?
Yeah, you
And he
stop and
chose to
observe.
observe,
Yeah, you
right?
chose to observe. Because
I would
then
kind of
each,
love to be there when he was just like
oh, yeah,
writing it.
wouldn't that be something? Like
Ah,
it's like that with the music masters too. When you hear about the masters, even current day one that are just passed away, or even the past ones like famous composers, you always want to be right beside where Debussy wrote, Afternoon of a Faun, and stuff like that. Like these, or La Mer, like these mega works of like of that time,
I
So
love that you mentioned all these people,
mm,
like, La Mer and blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
And
La
I'm like,
Mer, yeah.
okay, okay. Because I have no idea. But
No, but like
that's
when you
why
hear
we're
it,
together here.
yeah, that's it. But when you hear it, you'll know. Like when you hear something that's from Debussy, you know it's from Debussy. Like when you hear
Yeah.
Claire de Lune, it's Debussy. That's Claire de Lune. And like all those ones like that. Even Beethoven too. He had some romanticism inside of him in a lot of his stuff. And then he also had like heavy, but that's through the time when he got older and older and got sicker a little bit, and
Yeah, I
then got
love
a bit more
Beethoven.
miserable. Yeah, Beethoven in his prime. Yeah, there's
Oh,
nothing.
freaking
Nothing can beat him.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
like
Like,
Ode to Joy and stuff like that, and like his ninth and
yeah.
stuff. Like it's just like
The
there's a
ninth,
reason. The ninth,
you
yeah.
know I love the Ninth Symphony because I've
Or
told
like the fifth, like the fifth's like dun dun
beautiful.
dun dun.
Dun, dun,
You
dun,
got
dun. Dun,
yeah,
dun, dun,
it's
dun,
like
dun, dun,
that.
dun, dun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. You got it.
Oh,
You
everyone
see,
knows Beethoven.
but that's the poetry of music. That's our lines. Those are our lines. Our songs without words.
Oh, for sure.
Or poems without words, or whatever you
Well,
want to call it.
do you know what I heard, which you might find interesting, is that music is poetry.
Yeah,
Like it's what
that'll
do
be
you
something we'll have to talk about eventually too.
so what is poetry though? This is the big question, right? It's like,
Yes.
and I talk to my students about this all the time too,
Sure.
and they're like, well, and I'm like, they're like, well, it could be, it has to have structure and it has to, and I'm like, I don't think that's what it is though. It's more like this kind of feeling that carries over into things. It's like
Mm-hmm.
creative explosions, right? Like it
Mm.
was Emily Dickinson actually who said something like, you know that you have read a poem when your head feels like it's going to explode,
Ah.
right? But you can do that
Mm-hmm.
with a beautiful piece of music or a beautiful piece of art. So
Yes,
it's
you
like,
could.
is poetry just the word for um this kind of like expression of humanity? I
It's
don't
a
know.
yeah. Well, I think it is. It's a form of expression, just like music
Yeah.
is a form of expression. And we all then, you know, um, took the word art and made it all the same. And art is the thing that's above all of it. And then we communicate through those things to make art or make a message or make any of those types of things.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I love the
Yeah.
idea of creative people just being creative. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like I
Because
was
poetry is
watching the
poetry. Yeah.
documentary, I don't know if you even remember We Are the World. Do you remember that song?
Yep. Of
It like
course.
there was a documentary on Netflix called like the Coming Together of We Are the World. So it had like Michael Jackson and it had
I haven't seen it
like
yet.
oh my gosh,
I
like
have to
all
check it
these
out.
famous 80s, like I was a child and I still remember the impact that song had on me. But
Okay.
they all came together. So they like the world decided after, I think it was like a Grammys or something, like to bring all these musicians together. And they had to come
Mm,
in together. And the guy at the front, he wrote, check your ego. That's what he wrote on the door because it was like all these huge, like
of
Bob Dylan
course.
was there.
Oh
Bob
yeah.
fucking Dylan. And he
Yeah.
was standing there, he's like, why am I here? Basically, he was like,
Yeah.
huh?
My
He's
agent
like,
brought
oh,
me
what am
here.
I doing? I'm Bob Dylan. I got invited, so I came. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it was so cool. But it was about like creative expression
Yeah.
between creative people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be poets coming together or
No.
artists coming together,
No.
musicians coming
Yeah.
together, right?
Exactly. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like, I don't know, you should check it. It's like, it's
I
pretty
will. I
cool.
wrote it down. I wrote it down to
I
check it
totally
out. I'm
binged it
gonna check it
yesterday.
out.
I was like, I'm gonna binge this.
Yeah.
And it
I'll
might,
also put it in the notes as well for people to
yeah, why
watch, like a
not?
watch list, you know.
It was cool. Like it was a
Yeah.
really cool, what I liked about it was just how people came together and
Hmm.
they didn't know what to do, right? Like, so when
Hmm.
you're in a space of collaboration and you first start, even like when we first started this podcast today, we're like, what are we
That's
gonna
it.
do? Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
And then
been
it
like
just starts
weeks and months of that. Yeah.
coming, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, it's that vibe that you get when you are a creative person. And I
It's exactly that.
thank fucking whatever, the
Yeah.
universe, that I have this in me, as much trauma and stress as it causes me because I can't sleep half the time. Like, I know you can't either. Like, this is a
No.
real thing for creative people. We
Nocturnal people,
cannot
nocturnal. Yeah.
sleep,
Yeah. If
right?
you're a nocturnal person, let us know because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel that I'm not you know, doing it but it's a by ourselves, but it's like yeah, it's a common thing because it's restlessness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
in a good
desire
way.
to create,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, in a good way.
Maybe.
Yep, in a
Yeah,
good way, exactly.
I think so. And
I
then
think
like,
so too.
I don't know, I think we're always being like pushed by people to sleep. You should be
Hmm.
sleeping. You should be eating more. You should
Oh
be
yeah. Oh my gosh. We could do a whole thing
like,
about that because that's something I completely agree on. Like we were just bombarded with what we should always be doing, but instead we should be doing what our what our bodies have been telling us to do for centuries,
it's
from
our
person to person to
souls,
person.
right?
Yeah, our souls. Yeah,
It's our
exactly.
freaking
So
hearts, because our bodies are just like, they're there. They're going to break down.
yeah, totally.
But
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter if you keep with you this like desire to create, I think.
Yeah.
And don't get dampened down by everybody else's need to tell you what to do.
That's the most difficult part, I think, in all of
Oh
life
my
is
God, I
that.
know.
It's just that trying to circumnavigate through all that so that you can still be yourself.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And it's hard because yeah, it is a challenge
Hmm.
as an uber creative person to just like
Hmm.
be
Yeah.
fully, freely
Yeah. And see your
creative.
vision and see your vision through.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
that weird freaking
Whatever
vision
it is.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird, awesome, awkward, great, super,
Doesn't
uh,
matter.
dismissive, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well,
Yeah.
it makes me think of music again, like it's
Uh,
you're like John Cage, right? John
oh yeah,
Cage.
Cage.
That's
Cage is the
someone,
best.
right? He
Yeah,
like
of
did that
course.
weird,
Yeah. Three, whatever, the silence one.
yeah, he's like, this is music or something,
Yeah, yeah. And
right?
he had three or four or five movements, I can't remember, and he just sits there.
And then people had to be forced to listen to the sound of silence,
Of
essentially.
course, hear their own heartbeat, hear their own breath,
And
hear
that was music.
hear the person exiting out of the door. He's all about that. It's about the soundscape because he thought a little bit about soundscapes and stuff. And like he composed a lot in New York, so like imagine the noisiest place on earth, you know, and he was able to do magnificent things there.
What time period was he in?
Oh, I think he was at least
Was he
until
a
like at
modernist
least
or
yeah
something?
yeah he's a contemporary modernist type of thing. He's like 30. Well, I don't know. Don't I'm not good
That's
with dates.
okay. Don't, we
30
have
30
no
40
pressure.
50, 30 40s 50s 60s 70s I think. And then I think he passed away in the 90s, but I'm not
Oh, okay.
sure. Yeah.
Well, we can
And
check
then
into that.
yeah,
Like,
we can
that's
check
okay.
out. Yeah, I know it's
We can
okay. It's totally
admit that
fine.
we don't know things and
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah,
But
and
I
then it's
felt
like,
like,
but he's now like people still consider him the now. You know what I mean? He still considers contemporary. He's still considered contemporary, I think.
well, I think he came out like around the time of,
I came out with Kerouac. He came out with all those types of people
I
in
thought
the
he was around
literacy
P.S.
world.
Eliot time though. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know. We have to really check into this and
yeah,
we'll
we'll check into
remember
that.
and we'll bring it back
Yeah,
because like,
yeah, yeah.
I think it was like after, World War II, right? Like when people
Yeah.
started to like question, or even like right around World War I, World War II, when people started to question like reality and God and all these different
Oh yeah.
things,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Oh my God, we got off the love track. We have another
But you
poem.
see what Shakespeare does? See what Shakespeare does? Shakespeare just
Explosive.
put us on a 10-20 minute tangent.
Oh, thank you, Shakespeare.
No, and also Atwood as well, obviously.
Did you like how I had an accent there?
Yeah, it was a very good one.
Why,
Not
thank
too
you.
bad, not too bad.
Why, thank you, Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, 1912. He was born in 1912
I knew it.
till
Okay.
1992.
He
So
died in
he,
1992.
yeah, so he was there for the whole time. The
Holy
whole time.
shit, dude.
You
He
get it?
made
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
He
yeah.
lived and did
He
shit. I'd
lived.
like to
Yeah, he
actually
lived.
see what other stuff he did. Like, was he classic? Like, what else did he do besides that? Like, he must have been,
Electroacoustic music. So he was doing a
oh,
lot of electroacoustic and like, non-standard use of stuff. He's part of the avant-garde.
no.
He's part of the avant-garde. Yeah, the
Okay.
avant-garde, so to speak,
Would
I
you like to
guess.
explain the avant-garde?
Mm,
For us lay
maybe
folk.
yeah. Well, post-war, I guess, post-war avant-garde if I
Okay,
think about it. So
that's
it's just
cool.
like but that was everyone, like arts and literature and music, that was all he was part of all of that. So if I'm remembering my
I like
history
it.
well, but yeah. We'll have to do
That's
a whole type of thing about him because like even his stuff is sort of pretty poetic,
well, maybe
you
we
know.
mix it up. Maybe we do like bring on the music, bring and also like
Yeah, of course.
I love this podcast already.
Oh, me too. I'm in.
Speak it slant.
Damn. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah,
Uh,
it's that.
do you
I love it.
maybe we like the speak it slant thing came from Emily Dickinson.
Yeah,
So maybe we tell
that's
the people, right? Like,
yeah. Let's do that.
yeah, so
I got
Emily
it.
Dickinson she did not post. She would kill me for saying that. Somehow I feel like I know her and she's like, don't
Mm,
talk about me like I'm living in that world. Anyway,
mm.
like she did
Like
not
a true
post.
Boston person.
Yeah, right. But she like
Yeah.
all her work was found after she died, essentially, right? Like in they were called the fascicles, and they were found in that room that I was talking about earlier that she
Wow.
died in. And so one of the poems, one of the most potent lines was tell the truth, but tell it slant,
Mm,
right? So
hmm.
it's like you can argue that the truth is always slant, really, because it's
Yeah.
your own perception of
You're
memory,
so right. It's like, yeah,
right?
our memory is fallible. Our memory is not perfect. We add things to fill in certain blanks sometimes. It just happened because our brain is wired that way. If
Yeah.
some people are better than others, obviously. Like some people can really remember every single detail, but a lot of people have to fill in the blanks.
Oh, for sure. And even if you
You know,
remember every single detail, you're not remembering it the same as
no,
anyone else
never.
would.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah,
it
exactly right.
requires like the same body, the same DNA, the same eyes,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's such an amazing poem. So when we were making the title for this, we're like, let's speak it slant because we're
yeah,
only going to give what we can give.
yeah. We
It's
can
always going to
exactly.
be slant. So
Yeah, yeah.
do not quote
Always.
us on anything.
Never. This is not one of those types of podcasts
No,
at all.
unless it's a t-shirt. Let's make a t-shirt with
Yeah.
all those quotes.
Yeah, we got to figure out the merch situation eventually.
Oh
Yeah.
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 It'll be
That'll
like,
be
don't make a t-shirt with my
yeah.
misquotes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I love that.
Okay,
That's
let's
not too
write that
bad.
down.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna write well, it's been recorded, so we're
Oh,
good.
is
It's
being
always been there.
recorded.
I'm gonna re-listen to it and then write the note down
That's perfect. I
and then
made
write
you
it
laugh.
down.
That made me happy.
Oh yeah.
I am gonna like how much time do we have left on this podcast?
As much as we want.
We're just
That's
gonna
the
go
thing.
for it.
Yeah, we go for it. We go for it as long as we feel it, and then we go for as
Okay,
long as you want. That's how it is. There's no time limit right now. It's the first episode. First episode can be anything.
let's do it. I'm gonna
And
read a
then
poem
yeah, do it.
by Sarah Janine, and we'll put like her link in
Oh
the
yeah, all in the note in the show notes and everything.
yeah.
We're
And
gonna
it's
plug, plug,
funny.
plug.
Well, it's funny because I just recently, because I'm home with an injured foot, I've been like really focusing on getting my stuff out there. And I got kicked off of Instagram basically for being too, like, they thought I was a
Amazing.
bot.
Yeah,
They're
you
like,
guys
you
are a
are a
robot.
bot. So I'm
Well,
not,
yeah.
yeah. And
A
anybody that
computer
has
told you
been,
that. A bot told you you're a bot, but you're actually a bot is actually talking to a human. So like, come on.
yeah,
Makes no sense. Technology sometimes goes in a very weird way.
I am not happy with you, bot,
Yeah. Screw
who's
you,
telling
bot.
me I'm a bot.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
seriously.
I'm still able to comment on people's actual stories. I'm
Thank
not
goodness.
allowed to um, heart anything. I'm not allowed to comment on their posts, and I'm not allowed to accept friendships.
Hmm.
So if you've had that problem, it's not just you. So I'm allowed to get out of this Instagram jail on the 7th.
One, yeah, in like what, 2 days? Yeah,
Yeah, so this
Thursday.
one person's been posting all these amazing things, but we still manage to like I'm finding loops around it, you guys. Like I'm finding
Nice.
loops because
You're
that's
like
what I do.
totally doing like this tech like espionage and like trying to figure out the ways through this labyrinth of technology of bots. God, bots. Somebody should make a poem about bots.
Let's make a
No,
bullet poem. Let's do a poem on the fly.
no, a poem on the fly. Yeah,
Okay,
here we
do you want
go.
me to
Another
start it?
challenge. Yeah, this time you. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we'll switch
I
again.
am not a bot.
Am I a bot?
No, you are not. Yes, that's
Oh,
great.
good. Oh, I was about to do it, but that's good. I like the way it is. That's
I am
fine.
not a bot. Are you a bot?
Yeah.
No, I am
Duh.
not.
I am
You
not.
can tell by how I know the different lights in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, in this grid of 9, please click what's a stop sign? You know what I
I'm
mean?
like, is that a
What?
stop sign?
Is that a
Is
stop
that a,
sign?
I
That
don't
looks like a
know.
stop sign in the back, but it's like
I
3 blocks
know.
away.
I
It's three
over
blocks
fucking
away.
think it.
Oh man.
I always, the
That's
worst is the crosswalks. They're like, is there a crosswalk in
Oh
here?
yeah. Oh,
And I'm
I
like,
know.
I see white on the ground.
My nightmare is buses. When they say buses, I'm like, there's probably a bus around that corner, and I see a reflection, or I see a shadow of a bus. I know it's a long shadow of a bus, but the bus isn't the thing. Is that the bus? Do they think the shadow is the bus? Like,
Right?
and then they're like, okay, let's skip this, and then give you another worse nightmare. Like, are all these bikes? Yeah, they're all
How
bikes.
many bikes are there?
Yeah, how many bikes are there? Click all the squares for bikes.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
okay, this is my day. This is like 5 minutes of my life trying to verify my
But that
identity that I'm a
guarantees
bot.
you're a human.
Yeah, it guarantees that you're a human.
You are not a
That's
bot.
scary. That's scary. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. That was
Okay, so
great. That was great. That was our second one in one episode. That's amazing.
we're such poets. See?
You are.
Okay.
Yes.
You are as well.
Uh,
Okay, so we're going to go back to how Sarah and I actually were talking, and she's fantastic, and I really like her work. And she like shared this piece with me, and like very like humbly, and said, if you want to, and I'm like, okay, if you don't mind.
of course.
I'm not going to talk her story because that's for you to find out, and you should reach out to her because she's pretty amazing.
I
All
love it.
right, so this poem is about, just to give you like an understanding of how long it is, because I always kind of like to know. It's about 16 lines.
Cool. That's
Okay, a
fantastic. Yeah.
little bit
I'm
longer.
down. I'm down
Okay,
for it.
so are you ready? I hope I do it justice.
Ah,
Okay, so every time we speak on the phone, before we say bye, the words love you rise to the edge of my tongue. Then they fall away serendipitously. It's an old foundational reflex, a feeling that doesn't just go away because I left, because I longed for more. No, love you because I do, only it no longer applies. So where does that love go? It freezes like a Rufous hummingbird in torpor on a branch in sub-zero weather, still alive, just barely. When spring comes, she thaws and finds another perch. What's the opposite of love? Indifference? Is that where we are? Wishing for indifference? Maybe instead that love is supplanted by nature, balmy and warm. Only she can't love me back. Not really. Then again, neither could you.
oh, wow. Okay. So that like I think the beginning, like the first several lines, it's just like it painted such a good vivid picture. I
Yeah,
loved it. Then
yeah.
it kind of went into her own dialogue, which is like so personal.
Oh my God.
And then
Yeah.
that last line was like, or last half line and a half,
Hmm.
just like brought you right back to where how intense it was in the beginning.
Oh my God, I know, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
pretty good. It was cool. I
I
liked it very much.
yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like there's certain lines that really stand. I like how it's like interconnected with nature as well. And like,
Mm-hmm.
like this
Mm-hmm.
idea of this very cold weather that you can barely stay alive in, and you're like sub-zero weather, just trying to God, I'm like, there's something the matter with me. I get goosebumps every time I read poetry.
That's like me with music
Like
all
honestly,
the
like
time.
if I could show you,
Sometimes I
I'm
even have
just like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is so good. And yes,
Sometimes I
I
even
said,
have
dude.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I know you did. I know. I'm resisting. But sometimes I
Dude is
even get
only allowed once in a while. It's like a semicolon.
well, I've already wasted my my allotment for a while. I'm in the chair
You're in
for
the
that.
no dude zone.
Yeah, you see, I can't even say the word. I can't say it. I'm just like
No.
that's how restricted I am.
You get one dude per
Yeah,
day.
but yeah. Oh, day. Okay,
No,
that's
no.
good.
I'd say like
That's
per
good.
every other
No, I
hour.
agree with. No, I agree with. Oh my goodness, yeah. But you're right, goosebumps. But sometimes I even get out of body experiences, which is crazy, like legit ones. It's insane. When I
Yeah.
listen to music, it's insane. So you know, it's like it's like that thing. It just takes you when somebody can take you with words or with music or with painting or with whatever, and they can take you on a journey, even
Yeah.
for that small amount of time. It's not small. It's like this thing that's just I don't know. You escape from reality.
Yes.
Yeah,
Isn't that what we're always trying to do as humans?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I do
Oh
like
my
the people
God,
that say that
that's
you shouldn't
me.
be trying to escape from humanity and reality. And I'm like,
Oh
why the
yeah,
fuck not?
yep,
Like, why
yep.
not?
Yes, please. Ticket for one, please. Like, yes, please.
Like,
Like, what? There's this option? Yes, please.
well, this is what I think people have. We're humans. That's what we do.
Mhm, mhm,
Like, we
mhm.
did not choose to be here.
Oh no, I did not sign any waiver.
Did you?
I was taken out of non-existence without my consent.
Rude. How rude.
How rude, you know? I always say that, like, you know, but then I'm like, well, might as well get away, get this over with, you know, and just experience as much as I can.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think that's why like we're lucky as creative people, but like we get to it again, it goes back to this idea that we have to fight for our right to be
Mm,
creative.
that's it.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Yeah.
looking tired. I
I'm
think
not tired. It's just oh, I'm not tired.
you
It's
didn't
just
like my
this
song?
I loved your
I
song.
don't think you liked my song.
Oh no, this was pure enjoyment. I don't yawn for disapproval. I don't
It's super
do that.
funny because my psychologist, when I was talking to him, we were like sitting there and I saw him yawn and I was like,
Mhm.
I'm
But
like,
it's a natural thing. It doesn't mean anything. It's
no,
our
but
just our body.
I watched this series that was about psychologists, and that was a
Okay.
part of it. And the guy's
Oh,
like,
what?
did you just yawn? And so I told him, he's like, what are you thinking right now? And I'm like, I'm thinking that I watched a show about psychologists, and the guy yawned and he like laughed. He's
No,
amazing. I love this guy.
I remember you
Everybody
talking
should go
about
to
him.
a
Yeah.
psychologist if you can.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Look at it. Now you're gonna make me yawn.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's not the tiredness at all. It's just this, I think honestly, yawning is a thing, is an expression, not something that actually is means like you're tired or anything. I think it's something about releasing something that you've been either holding or you've been or experiencing at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it means what we think it means at all. That's my theory
Ah,
about it. I don't think so. And I think when people yawn when people other people yawn around people when they yawn, you know, that it's almost
making
like
me want to yawn.
it's almost
Maybe
like
I need to yawn.
yeah, do it.
It's
But
a
I'm just like,
communal.
yeah, it's communal. That's what I mean. So I think it's a
Yeah.
form of, anything that's communal is a form of expression to me. So I think we're
Oh, that's
expressing something
beautiful.
that's like that. That's what I think it is. I don't think it means that we're tired at all. I know some people who yawn in the middle of the day and they had a full rest of sleep. You know what I mean? I think it's something
Yeah.
else.
I think
I
you're
think
right. They've
I
done
think
studies.
our
They,
eyes tell us when we're tired, when we have heavy eyes. I do not have heavy eyes right now. That's a major marker when we have
Mhm.
heavy eyes and we're about to go. I mean, it's telling us something else, but yawn is not, I don't think it's part of that. Because
I'm
like look at
never
our
actually tired ever. Like if I
no,
didn't have to sleep
oh my God.
or
If only.
pee or do
Oh
any
man.
human things,
Oh
I'd
my
be
God.
so happy about that.
Oh my God. I'd be thrilled.
What a
Like
waste of our existence having to do
I know.
human things.
Yeah. Why did the universe tell us to do these particular things when the sun doesn't have to do that? When the,
Maybe we
you
are
know,
bots. Maybe we are robots and we're
maybe.
rebooting in the middle of the night.
There's always a chance. There's always a chance, but I'm hopeful that it isn't that. I'm
Why
hopeful it's
not? Who
just
cares?
also, yeah, I
That's
know.
kind of freaking cool, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
it would be cool, but it would be cool to be celestial beings too.
Yeah. Oh, now we're
Yeah.
getting all like,
Well, that's it. But you see, that's
yeah,
what that poem did. Look at what that poem did to us.
that
See?
was a really good poem. Thank
That's
you.
what it was fantastic. Sarah, that's
Sarah, you
fantastic.
rock.
Oh my God. There's nothing better. Nothing better. It's so nice.
She
I
seems
love
like a
that's
really cool person too. That's the thing.
oh yeah.
You know, like the more I meet people on Instagram, like the poet community and stuff, I'm finding
Yes.
like,
You
wow, there's just
you
like a
find these
lot of
like
solid
oh,
humans.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's also a very beautiful thing because we have the old way of looking at what poets are, what we're told what poets are in
Yeah.
the past, which is
Yeah.
like completely not the story. I think we see it now. I think those people in the past were more the people we have now, but we don't hear more.
Absolutely, they were.
Yeah,
We just
that's what I
make them
think.
into whatever we need to make them into because that's what history kind of did, right?
Totally,
Unfortunately. And so like you always
100%.
like that's why you dive into their actual works. Like we just looked at Shakespeare who wrote in like what 1300 was that when he wrote? I think it was like Elizabethan time, right? Like he
Elizabethan,
wrote
yeah.
in a time and he connected with us. Emily Dickinson wrote in like the late 1800s,
Yeah.
right? Like
Mm,
Atwood, she's what, 90 now or something? And it's like these
yeah.
people are still
Like I'm a big,
the
yeah.
same. They're all the same, right? Like we are
Yeah.
all the same. That's the thing about
Yes.
humans, is that we have not really evolved.
Yeah. I haven't read enough. Exactly. I haven't read
Like
enough
we are
about, yeah,
basic.
exactly. Yeah. We're basic.
We are
Yeah. We're all
brand
basic.
new.
We're all like mediocre and basic, but we have these beautiful, gigantic, like stints of passing
Yeah.
through life with creativity, which is great. Like my favorite poem, my favorite, one of my favorite poets is Walt Whitman. Like I have the complete
Mhm.
Walt Whitman, and I read Walt Whitman. That's the only poems next to Cohen. Like, those are my two people that I've read a lot
Yeah.
of, and I never had enough time to dive into the rest. I want to do that now with this, you know.
Yes, I
But
love
like Walt
it.
Whitman is like it's mind-boggling, like how he wrote about living in Brooklyn and living in these types of places, and like you can see that he was struggling so much with how him as a creative and him being, you
Hmm.
know, having sexual problems, having those types of identity crises, and being not being able to express, but through his words, like it's so good. Like Whitman is like whenever I have to have a realignment to myself, I try to read that, you know.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that about you. That's really
No,
cool.
that's a new thing. Yeah, I
That's
didn't
cool.
tell
I'm
you
not
about
a
that. That's a
Whitman
book
fan.
too.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Oh, you
But
don't have to. You don't
no,
have to be.
no, it's
You don't have
not
to be.
because
You
he's
don't have
not
to be.
good. It's because I gear towards like
I
those
don't think he's the best.
people.
I just think I just think it relates a little bit to me. That's all.
Oh, for sure. I just
Yeah.
I love that. That's really cool, Nicola.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the people, me personally, the ones that never got noticed in their life, right?
Yes.
Like so like Emily Dickinson, William Blake,
Oh
like
yeah, Blake. Blake, man.
Sappho, like she was writing in Roman times. She's like she was from the island of Lesbos, right? Like this is
Oh,
like where the word
what?
lesbian came from.
Oh man, that would be the
Like
island.
the, okay,
I'm
come
just teasing. I'm
on.
just teasing. I'm just
You
teasing.
shall die.
This podcast just went to an adult rating.
I think I
Oh,
said fuck a couple times, so we have to change it.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep the word fuck in here because
Of course.
it's
Oh
a
no,
potent
you
word.
totally can. You totally can.
Like if
Like
people don't
that's
like it, they can
it's poetry. Like
fuck
it has to
off.
be, we have to have every single word has to be available. Every word has to be available.
Well, and fuck is a word that's like really usable in many
Oh
different
yeah.
ways.
It's super usable for sure.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
going. If people
Yeah.
have a problem with it, don't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But please still subscribe. But you don't have to listen. That way we can still keep the metrics going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I'll
complain
be
and say how bad we are.
oh, please complain. That would be amazing. That just any type of discourse, any type of course, whatever you want, just give us anything. You know, we're just
Oh, I
begging
love
for it.
it. I love
Oh
it.
yeah. But you see, that's so good. I'm so happy that we shared that poem with Sarah. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think like
Yeah.
I'm gonna honestly not do any of my poetry tonight because like I'm happy with where we're at.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love my poetry, it's my poetry and I have to love it.
Yeah.
If you don't love your own shit,
Well,
then
yeah, we have to
what the
do a
fuck?
whole entire episode of it, but we have to do it at least one episode entirely about your poems.
Aw,
At least one. We have to. That's gonna be one episode for
just a
sure.
whole Terriann poem
Yeah, of
episode.
course, of course. Oh
They're
yes,
weird, you know
that's
that.
the best. Oh yes, but that's what we want. We can't just have the clean page.
That's fair.
There's
Fair,
no
fair.
clean pages. You shouldn't have clean pages.
I think
You
that
know.
we um finish this first podcast with a made up poem. I'm really loving them and I love how uncomfortable it makes you, which makes me really
It
happy.
doesn't.
For
I'm
some
actually okay
weird.
about it.
Well, if you're like a
Yeah, because
D&D person, I'm like chaotic evil. So I'm kind of like
what am I again? What?
I'm chaotic evil. Like I just
Yes.
always want to go towards like chaos, but then I'm like, haha.
Oh,
Like,
I'm pursuing chaos. That's what I want to do.
so are
Like
you
just
chaotic neutral?
no, there's no neutrality with me.
So are you chaotic good?
No, there has to be a new word. There's got to be a
This is
new
I'm
word.
talking D&D. Have
I
you
know, but in D and D there's subs. I know. I've played in D and D. I played it several times. You
that's
know, but
true. Hmm.
yeah, I would say it would
But
probably
isn't there
be.
like calm something? I don't know. All I know is chaotic. I
Mm,
only know the
yeah,
chaotic part.
same me too. I never wanted to be like chaotic rogue. Maybe that's not that at all. But like whatever. No, but there's chaos in there. Yeah, there has to be
Yeah.
more of it. Yeah.
Okay, we are going down a rabbit hole. So I think we
Yes.
like finish this off and
Uh-huh.
be happy with our first podcast, which I'm really
Yeah,
enjoyed. Like as
I'm
a
excited.
teacher, I want to recap it. I'm like, we started off with what poem did we do at the beginning? We did a Margaret Atwood poem,
Yeah.
and then we did a what did we do after that? Shakespeare?
Shakespeare, but we also did
Emily
like little,
Dickinson.
and then we did, yeah, Emily
Emily
Dickinson, and then we did,
Dickinson,
yeah,
Shakespeare, and then we read Sarah's poem.
Sarah Summerall, and then we did our own poems in between.
Yeah, we made up poems.
We made up
Now
poems on the fly.
Alive.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you
Great
want to make
recap.
a poem right now? Or do you want to like sing a song?
Oh, the singing song thing, maybe not yet.
Well,
I
I
like the
don't
poem
want to.
thing.
That makes
Neither.
me
Oh, so
horrified. But
also we do
I
poem
was
then.
trying to even the playing ground here.
Oh no, I think I'll throw one down. We'll throw one down eventually. I think maybe next episode.
Oh, you
I
could
think.
bring your flute out and stuff. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
or some
yeah.
other one other instrument I have, whatever I have around with me right now.
Whatever you
But
got. Okay,
let's do one more.
let's do a closing. Let's try to
Yeah,
recap
closing.
through poetry.
Yes, exactly.
So you get to start. Let's do, how many lines do we want? Or we want to just stop when we think we're done?
Hmm. Let's stop when we think we're done.
Okay.
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 Hmm.
I want you
And
to
then,
like clear your mind.
yeah, that's what I'm actually trying to do. Yeah, that was a good. I was about to say that. That's so funny. I was about to say that.
The best part about poetry is that we question ourselves so much and we don't say what we first think. So the first line that comes to your head, no matter what it is, just say it.
Yeah.
Give that a try.
Oh yeah, of course.
Don't judge.
I Horath has come. Have come rather.
I, Horath, come.
I Horath have come.
I, Horath, have come to the moment of forever.
I've relapsed from forever, and I want to endure.
So I must join the people on the seashore and jump onto a boat.
The boat creaks, but then a silence.
And we sit in connection with all of eternity.
Eternity speaks.
And it says, shh.
It says, shh.
Horath. No more talk for you.
No more creaky floors for you.
Oh my
You
God,
come
that
on
was
this boat.
great.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I
Oh,
had a little comedic element. I liked it very much.
it was fun.
Yeah.
I don't ever like just, let a poem be anything except
No.
for what my mind says it to be when I give a line. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, that's kind of rude, but I wasn't trying to,
Ooh, no, it was no. Even the rudeness is great. More rudeness, please.
oh, really?
Oh,
Shall
of
I be rude
course.
to you?
Anyone who
I'll
gets
just
us, it's
start
okay.
throwing popcorn at you.
Oh my God, ang, ang. If you haven't seen, if you're not watching the video, I'm eating the popcorn being thrown at me.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, this is fantastic. Okay,
So
shall
this
we
is
wind it
fantastic.
up?
Yeah. So like this is fantastic. We're gonna hopefully figure out a schedule for all of this, and I'm really happy for the people who've listened in.
Yeah, if you've listened, thank you. That's really
Yeah,
amazing.
big thanks. Also, if you're a poet
Mm.
and want to share your works with us, depending on theme or whatever, that doesn't matter. Just
No,
send us things. You can contact either of us on the Speak It Slant,
speak it slant.
Speak It Slant Instagram page. Also, we're working on getting more contacts, things, but that'll be more. You'll get more information about that on the next episode. And yeah, I think follow either of us. You can follow Terriann at walling.terriann is
Yeah,
your poetry page.
yep,
And you can follow mine, alokin.sugar. That's just my regular little page if you want to follow me there. ALOKIN.sugar, SUGAR. And that's my Instagram page, and you can follow me there.
yeah.
Or send us information, send us your poems, and send us on any of those platforms, any of those accounts rather.
Well, even if you have art or music, we'd love to
Yeah, we'd like to see.
put
Yeah,
that
share it
in.
around. Yeah, we can definitely like put that in on the video and stuff like that. We can share and digest your expression and your form of creativity.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the of February, or if you're listening to this after February, I hope you have a good rest of your day. And yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, remember to speak it slant.
Yes.
That's the end, I think. Speak it slant.
Speak your truth, but speak it slant.